Welcome to the last episode of Bottom of the Stream of 2021.
Welcome.
Not ever. You looked scared when I said last.
Yeah, I thought you were going to
drop it on you like that.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably let you know before.
break up with me, do me like that.
Nah, I wouldn't do that to you. It's the last one of the year.
Yeah.
Scary.
Another year in the books.
Another year in the books.
Christmas has been and gone.
Does? How was your Christmas?
It was amazing.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad mine was too.
Yeah.
It's not been Christmas yet.
Not at time of recording.
Not of time of recording. It's not far away though. It's 23rd.
Yeah.
6th,
When does this come out? The 27th.
20 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just after Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I know I went to do some carol singing last night.
Oh, did you?
Accidentally.
Accidental carol singing?
Yeah.
Why? What were you not planning on?
No, my mother-in-law was like, oh, they've sent a leaflet round our street.
Right.
And there's going to be mince pies.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
nice.
I'm in.
Do you like a mince pie?
And a bit of, yeah, I do like a mince
I'm
pie.
not a
Are you
fan.
not a fan?
No.
Okay. What don't you like, the mince?
The mince, yeah. I love pies.
I said, do you want to bring the kids around and there's going to be some carolers?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's full on church.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, like there was Bible readings and come on, let's all sing.
Oh, really?
So I did a bit of singing.
Oh, nice. Was it good, though? Was it
It
Christmas?
was very loud, and I don't sound like an old man, but oh my word, I've been to quieter rock concerts.
Yeah, really?
Then they had this PA to put carols on and praise the Lord on.
Oh, wow.
It was very loud.
It doesn't sound like my sort of thing.
I started singing, it started raining.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's not stopped since.
No. So there you go. That's what
Cool.
happened.
Excellent. I'm glad. We should probably do a movie show,
Yeah, let's do that. No wave this week.
No, we didn't do a wave this week, unfortunately. The
Because
time,
Christmas.
and time just got away from us a little bit.
It's fine. I think that's allowed at this time of year.
Yeah, people are not going to be that bothered. There's not a lot of news going on anyway. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
Back full steam
We'll be
ahead.
back full steam next week.
Next week with 2 episodes.
2 episodes again. So let's get this one done, shall we? Get it in the can. So this week I've watched a film called The Perfection. The Perfection was released in 2018. It is an 18. It runs for 1 hour and 30 minutes exactly. Currently rated at 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb, which is very high.
That's pretty high.
Pretty high. And it is a Netflix original. Stars a lady called Allison Williams. She plays Charlotte. Probably most famous for being in Get Out.
Yes.
She was the main lady character in that.
She was on Girls.
Girls, yeah, she was
well,
a big star in that.
I felt like that burnt strong for not very long,
Yeah.
didn't it, as a TV show?
The director was a director of a few of the episodes as well.
Okay.
So I think that's where their relationship started. And she's also in Netflix's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
I've not watched it.
Oh, I watched the first season and I never went back to it after that, but it was all right. So she was in that. Also stars another lady called Lizzie Browning. She plays Logan Browning. Sorry, she plays Lizzie. She's most famous. She was in Dear White People.
Okay, yeah.
So that's like a big show, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never seen it again. And also stars a very famous man called Steven Weber.
Sure.
He plays a character called Anton. He's got 174 acting credits on IMDb.
Work.
That's a lot of acting
Yeah.
credits. I obviously know him mostly because he played Jack Torrance in Stephen King's version of The Shining.
Sure.
He was the principal in 13 Reasons Why on Netflix, and he's been on our show before.
Has he?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't spot that.
Did you not?
No.
What?
I've
Do
no
you want to
idea.
have a guess?
No. Are we talking early?
Yes, early-ish comedy.
Little Evil?
No.
Don't know.
Handsome, a Netflix mystery movie.
Oh, was he in that?
He was in that.
Oh, was he the guy, the
Yes.
rich guy?
Yes, the guy whose house it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Written and directed by a guy called Richard Shepard. He's mostly done TV work. Like I said, he's done a lot of episodes of Girls. Co-written by a lady called Nicole Schneider and another guy called Eric. I think it's pronounced Charmello. But again, they're mainly
I'm not
TV
going to
writers.
correct you.
Thank you. They're mainly TV writers as they've done a lot of TV work over their careers. Do you have a one-word review of The Perfection?
I'm just a cellist guy.
Nice. This is about cellists.
Yeah.
Celloists? Cellists. How are we saying it?
Cellists,
Cellists.
I think.
That noise is weird, isn't it?
It really should be I'm just a cellist girl, but it doesn't. That's not the song.
That's
so.
not the song. This film's a trip, isn't it?
Do you know what? The fact that this film has landed, and we'll get into this, the fact that it's landed and been picked by the randomizer here this season
yeah.
is crazy to me, because this is a mashup of 2 movies we've already seen in our stream table so far.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Do you want to name the movies?
This is the movie that both Secret Obsession
Yeah.
and American Mary wanted to be.
It
So
is.
someone has just like mashed them together, and this is the
Come
result.
up with this, yeah. It also reminded me a lot of what was that movie? The one that you really liked about the two girls in the woods, and one of them with the cliff push.
Yes.
What was that called?
What Keeps You Alive?
What Keeps You Alive? It reminded me a lot of that. It had similar vibes to that, I thought.
Yeah, kind
Mainly
of.
because it's two women in it.
I mean, this
Only for like
the
there's parts
first
of it
half
that
an
are- the
hour
first half
is
an hour,
yes, yeah.
Because this film takes some turns during its runtime.
Yeah.
You described it to me as a pacey 90, and I would agree with that.
Yeah.
It runs very
85
quick.
if you don't watch the credits, I think.
It runs very, very... There's a high tempo to this film. It moves at some pace. So, where does this film start, Nick?
There's an old lady
Yes.
and Jesus
Yeah.
in a room.
That sounds like the beginning of a joke.
Unfortunately, she's dead.
Yeah.
And there's like quite a few lingering camera shots on this open mouth
Deceased lady.
lady.
Yeah. And there's a girl sitting in the room with her.
A younger lady is watching her.
Yes. And she's kind of screaming in her own head.
Yes.
There's an image of her screaming, but it's all in her mind. And it turns out this is our main character, Charlotte.
This, you know, this is going to be a pacey movie straight away.
Yeah.
Because we overhear two other ladies in the corridor.
Yeah.
Basically outlining what the hell's going on here.
Yeah.
Because they're having a conversation, and one says to the other, "Oh yes, she was a talented musician, but she gave it all up to care for her mother.
Yes, she did.
What's she going to do now?" I'm like, I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to move quickly,
I'd rather
give me
that
some
than a news
exposition at the
report.
beginning.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't mind overhearing a corridor conversation.
Because she could overhear it as well, and it was all she knew they were talking about her, and she didn't.
There's
like
your
that,
setup.
and, yeah, there's your setup straight in.
In 30 seconds of this movie starting, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it hits straight into your title card, and then from there we get some words on the screen where it just says number 1 mission.
Yeah.
So this is the first chapter. This film's in chapters, 5 chapters, something like that. I've got them all written down. And this is the first one is mission, and it starts with a plane landing, and the same girl Charlotte is leaving the aeroplane, and while she's doing that, she's leaving a voice message.
I think we're into cut. I presume she's already left the voice message.
The voice message is going
and she's
on.
arranged this.
Yeah,
but we're just seeing it at the same time.
It turns out she's in Shanghai.
Sure is. Yeah.
She bet this voice message that she's leaving basically says, "My mum's died.
Can I come
back and join you?"
Yeah, for someone called Anton and someone called Paloma.
Then I've written here, she looks angrily at a poster.
Yeah,
because there's a big poster in Shanghai of this other lady
with a cello,
like
100-foot high.
Yeah,
cellos are a big thing over there.
It says Elizabeth Wells.
Yeah,
and she looks angry at it. She doesn't look like she likes Elizabeth Wells.
No. So I'm thinking, were these rivals?
Yeah, but it turns out they've barely ever met.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it. We'll get into what their relationship more very soon. So she goes to this almost like gala event, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I thought it was like an opening of a museum or something
along those lines. And she meets up with Anton, which is Stephen Webber's character.
He's like a head honcho of he's like Professor X, but for cellists.
Yes, it's exactly what he is. He's basically handing out scholarships to the best cellists in the country. World. And he's basically running it like a competition.
Yeah,
it's almost like Cellist Got Talent.
Yeah.
So, and he's asked Charlotte and this Elizabeth character to be the judges for this competition.
Sure, because he says Elizabeth's like the best cellist I've ever taught.
Yeah.
And Charlotte almost was, but she had to leave.
She had to leave to go and look after her mother. So he's very excited that he's got his two best ever students in the same room. And he introduces them to each other because they've never met before.
No.
There's images going on whilst this is happening of self-harming and electrocutions and things going on.
Shock therapy, shaved heads. It's in Charlotte's head, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all in her head. So a lot of this film happens in her head.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to get used to us talking like... You can also see almost like self-harming marks on her arms as she's hugging Lizzie. And she agrees to be a judge. She's going to judge this competition for Anton.
Yeah, like you say, the winner is getting a fully paid 4-year scholarship to
Anton's
cello school.
Yeah. She meets up with some of her other old teachers from this school. I can't remember. I didn't get their names, but there were two oldish gentlemen.
I've got them later.
I think I might have them later. And then she meets Elizabeth. She meets Lizzie for the first time. And Charlotte says she's a big fan of Lizzie. But Lizzie says, "Well, you're my idol."
Yeah,
So
you were famous around the school.
Yeah, you're
just
the
when
reason that I got
arrived.
into this. Yeah. You just left as I was... She says we did actually meet once.
Yeah.
But you were just leaving as I was just coming in. It's literally happened like that. And then there's 3 cellists playing, young girls. They're all girls. And they're playing this cello. It turns out a couple of the parents are having a weird affair.
This was the first weird bit in this movie.
Yeah.
Because like Lizzie's like, oh, don't fucking watch them kids playing cello.
Which we're supposed to be judging.
It's obvious which one's the best.
Win. Yeah.
Look at the parents over there.
Yeah.
And she's all like
perving on them.
Yeah.
So the 2 of the parents are having an affair with each other.
Yeah.
And Lizzie knows about this and she points it out to Charlotte. It's basically their first bonding session, isn't it?
She gets the horn from it.
She does.
Not the instrument.
She does. She makes a very, very strange comment where she whispers that it's making her wet in Charlotte's ear. I was like, oh, that's weird. Weird start. But it's flirting, isn't it? There's a flirting going on. Later on, after the competition's over, they're on the roof. Lizzie tells her about the time that they did once meet before. And she asks Charlotte if she's still playing. Do you still play the cello? She says, I do, but I just play for myself. I was going to say with myself then. That's not right. She just plays for herself now. She doesn't play professionally anymore. And Lizzie's like, well, I'm going on vacation tomorrow.
Yes, it's my first holiday in years.
Ever vacation.
I've just worked... She basically reads out the school catalogue, and I've actually put, she sounds a bit brainwashed.
Yeah, she does sound a bit brainwashed at this point. Then a really weird thing happens. So,
is this the strangest red herring you've ever seen in a movie?
Because it felt like it was going somewhere, and for a period in the movie, it felt like it was going somewhere, but it didn't.
And I thought, oh my god, this is going to be like an incredibly prescient movie for our times.
Absolutely. Because they're walking back down the stairs and the man all of a sudden just starts vomiting everywhere.
Yeah.
And then collapsing. He collapses, doesn't he?
Doubles over in stomach pain.
An absolute crippling agony. And somebody makes I can't remember who said the comment, but
it's another
somebody in the background
says, the party.
Oh, I hope this isn't a sign of what's happening down south.
Yeah, it's that fever down south that's knocking everyone out.
The words airborne contagion are used. And I'm like, oh, this is very apt for the current times. And it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh. We'll come to it because we don't want to give away the plot quite yet. But at this point, I'm like, oh my god, is this like a virus movie?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And I remembered at some point during this film that I had seen the trailer for this film before. Okay. When it first came out. So you're talking years ago, 3 or 4 years ago now. And I do remember thinking, oh, this looks like quite a good film. But then it just disappeared out of my mind.
Well, we can't really say yet. Let's go further through and then I want to ask you, I'm saying this now so I don't forget, or you don't forget. Did you feel cheated by this red herring?
Okay. I'll answer that later. That's fine.
Cool.
And Anton, said that, but that sort of gets cast aside.
Yeah.
People leave the party. There's just a few people left towards the end.
They're actually on the stage, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just having a chat on the stage. And Anton wants them to play together.
Yeah.
He wants them to cello off. He wants them to have a cello off. He wants them to play together as like a duet. That's the word I'm looking for. And Charlotte's really reluctant to do it. She's like, I haven't played professionally for many years. She's like,
I'm not of that standard anymore.
I think she said it's a decade since she left the school.
She said my fingering is not up to scratch.
I'm nowhere near Lizzie's quality.
Yeah.
Because Lizzie's the best in the world at this.
Yeah.
And we can't play together. But they do. Sorry, you've thrown me completely by saying the word fingering, especially with what's coming up. And whilst they're playing, there's a montage that goes on of them later on that same night.
Yes,
in a club, dancing, kissing, playing around with each other.
Yeah,
and eventually doing the naughty together.
Yeah, sure.
But this is all like interspersed with them actually playing their cellos. What?
Sorry.
But then we don't continue with that night. We continue from the end of the montage at the end of the sex.
The sex. Yeah, it's the next morning.
It's the next morning.
There's some pillow talk going on.
And Charlotte admits that was her first time.
Yeah, ever. Not just with a lady.
With anybody.
Yeah.
Because she'd grown up in this environment, this school environment, and since then she's been looking after her parents. She's not had time for anybody else. So they wake up. It's the morning after the night before.
Yeah.
They really irritates me when I do that. They're in bed. They're chatting away. Lizzie's like, right, I told you last night I'm going on holiday.
Yeah, I'm
going on
now.
holiday. I'm going today.
Yeah.
Remember, they're in Shanghai. They're in China. So
Yeah.
she's like, I'm going out west. I'm going to go as far away from the tourist spots as I can.
Backpacking.
Yeah.
Because they're in this really nice plush hotel room. And obviously she'd been touring around doing all these concerts and judging and stuff. She's like, I'm going off grid.
Yeah.
Just spending some time away from this.
Yeah.
Do you want to come with me?
And Charlotte's like, yeah, why not? I've got nothing better to do. My mum's dead. I've got no career. Why not? Well, she hasn't. She's got nothing to do, has she? But then Charlotte notices that they've got the same tattoo on their back.
Yeah.
So they've both got a music note on their back.
This won't mean anything to anyone who doesn't listen to My Dad Wrote a Porno, but it really made me think of that with the tattoo. Actually,
again, a massive red herring.
Talking of that show,
yeah,
I was listening to their Christmas special earlier today.
I've listened to them.
And
I'm on board.
They very briefly had a conversation about whether you say mayor or mayor.
Oh, did they? Oh, no, they did. Yes, they did.
All right. Bloody hell, we're ahead of the curve.
We are well ahead of the curve.
We're trendsetters.
And they decided that I was right.
I don't think they came to a conclusion.
I don't think they did. I'm just saying that I'm right. Charlotte, Lizzie's got a massive hangover. So Charlotte says to her, do you want some tablets? Well, you go and have a shower and I'll get you some tablets sorted. She gives us some tablets.
So I've got some ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And, here's some alcohol. And Lizzie's like, are we doing hair of the dog?
Yeah,
and
basically.
They do.
And they do. Then they go outside. They've got this bus to catch. Charlotte's reveals that she doesn't speak any Chinese, which is we're
at number 2 now, by the way.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we are. Yeah, sorry, I've got it here. 2, Detour. Yeah. Chapter 2 is called Detour. Charlotte reveals that she doesn't speak any Chinese, any Mandarin, so Lizzie's going to have to do all the talking.
Sure.
Lizzie says, I feel like absolute shit. I feel like I'm going to die because my hangover's so bad.
So it's like, let's try and get something to eat.
Yeah, because Charlotte says to her first, shall we just go back to the hotel and bin off the holiday until tomorrow? And she's like, no, get me some food. We'll be fine. She gets some absolutely rank-looking
they picked the worst
possible.
Jellified, soupy
seafood
mess.
Yeah, it looked rank. But so Lizzie didn't really eat any of that. And then they get on the bus. It's not a nice bus. It's an American-style school bus, Chinese touristy bus.
Yeah, little minibus. Lizzie takes some more tablets.
Yeah, downs a whole bottle of water, so she's not great. But she's like, I'll be fine. I'll get some sleep on the bus as it's moving.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine when I wake up. The bus moves off, and then
some time passes.
As they're travelling. They're in the middle of nowhere now. Then this film takes the first of its many turns.
This couple of scenes where they're on the bus / trying to get off the bus. It was the best bit of the movie for me.
Yeah, 100%.
It was the best acted, best written, and the most I was like, what the fuck's going on?
You feel really helpless for them because, and it's so stressful. It reminded me of bloody Safdie Brothers movie. It wasn't quite that bad, but it's the similar sort of vibe though, isn't it? Everybody's shouting. Nobody can speak Chinese. The bus driver's like, I'm not we'll get to it, but Lizzie needs to go to the toilet.
She needs a
bath. How it starts. She's like, she needs a bath. I don't know if that's a thing outside of our town, but she needs to empty herself from both ends.
Yes.
This is basically what's happening. She's going to throw up. She's going to shit herself. She says, get the driver to stop the bus. The bus driver will not stop this bus. Lizzie throws up all over his bus.
Yeah.
And then he agrees to finally.
Yeah, she throws up down the corridor of the bus, doesn't she? Aisle, that's the word. There's
a very undignified scene now where she's literally in the middle of the road shitting.
Oh no! Before that, she's like, please get him to stop the bus. I'm going to shit myself. And then she has to waddle down the bus.
Yeah, she can't barely move. She's in so much agony she can barely move. They get a Chinese man who can speak English, don't they, to translate to the bus driver what's going on.
Convince the bus driver.
She's going. All she keeps saying is, "I'm going to shit myself," over and over and over again, and to the point where you think, "What a horrible situation."
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons it is such a good scene is you can relate because we've all been not necessarily on the middle of a bus.
No, but somewhere where you're going to shit yourself.
Oh my god, something's going on.
It's not good. But the bus driver would eventually just pull over. She shits in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
there's nothing discreet about this girl. But then she's also throwing up constantly. Eventually, she gets back on the bus.
Yeah.
So there's no other choice.
Charlotte's like,
they're in the middle of nowhere.
Charlotte says, I think we need to get you to hospital.
Yeah.
But she's got no phone signal.
Yeah. So Lizzie's humiliated as she's getting back on this bus. Everybody's quite nice to her. She's apologising to everyone. People are giving her water. everybody's kind of understands. One lady hands her a face mask.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to catch this thing, whatever she's got. And the bus starts up again. It starts moving again. Charlotte tries to take her mind off the situation by they start playing this game about naming composers, don't they? In order. And then
she falls asleep for
a little while. She wakes up, she's like, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be sick. Throws up, or she tries to throw up out the window.
Yeah, can't get the window
open, throws up all down the window. There's maggots all in her sick.
Yeah. Now we're taking some turns.
This film's going now.
They are crawling around.
We're still really early into the film as well. We're probably...
It's like...
20 minutes in, if that.
Mountain Dew colour.
Yeah, it's bright green, dripping down this window, and it's full of maggots.
Yeah.
Charlotte freaks out at this point. She's like, fuck, is that bugs? What's going on? Ugh, she's freaking out. All the Chinese people are screaming. Everything's going on. Lizzie's now freaking out because she thinks she's going to die here.
Yeah, she starts scratching at her wrist.
She's like, is it what that bloke had last night? Have I caught that? She starts scratching at her wrist because she can feel things moving around in her skin. Because if you've just thrown up bugs, you're going to feel like you've got bugs all inside you.
Yeah.
Bugs up inside.
Then she starts smashing her head against the window.
Yeah. She starts smashing her head on the window because her head's pounding. She's got a massive headache. And the only way she can try and get her... And she actually smashes the window with her head.
Yeah.
And then the driver's not happy about that.
Right, you're off.
Get off my bus.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off my bus. Some passengers try to help them. A couple gives them water.
The English-speaking guy says, like, look, if you start walking that way, there's a town.
It's a very small town, but it might have a pharmacy.
And then he says, when we get to our destination...
We'll send somebody back.
I'll tell them that you're where you are.
Yeah. So they've been thrown off this bus. Their luggage gets thrown out after them. And they're now literally in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of backcountry China. It's like the worst nightmare scenario. Lizzie's still freaking out. Lizzie still thinks she's dying.
I mean, she's perked up a bit.
Yeah, she can move now at least. She can walk since she shit herself.
But she's still walking along screaming and scratching and
it's so
pulling her hair out. And
it's horrible.
She was great.
She was great. Both the girls in this are great, to be fair. They really are. They're both really good. And then something is inside her because we can see her arms. And there's loads of shit crawling under her skin, under her arms.
Loads of wormy things.
And she spots it and she's like, fuck. As you would be. She's proper freaking out. And now Charlotte's freaking out too. She's like, you've got bugs inside you. What the fuck is going on? Because these two don't really know each other. They're like, they've only met the night before.
And this is really weird because it's really, one of the reasons it's so unsettling is because up till now it's been played like it's just a straight drama.
Yeah.
And now we've suddenly got fucking bugs crawling around in someone.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And it is quite discombobulating.
It is, yeah.
As a viewer, because you're like,
what the fuck is going on?
There was no hint this was
no.
What film am I now watching?
It's completely changed from what it started at.
Yeah.
And it does that a few times. There's a few points in this film where it's like, we're watching a completely different film now. And we're coming up to another one of them now. Because Charlotte's freaking out. Charlotte hands her a meat cleaver.
Well, first the hand starts like... So
all the bugs burst out of her
erupting out of her wrist.
They all burst out of her arms, and they're like cockroaches.
Yeah, and she spews up again. There's more maggots and
bugs
spiders in it, and
it's wrong. It's horrible. And then Charlotte says, "Take this meat cleaver. You know what you've got to do."
Yeah.
And Lizzie's freaking out so much that she raises this meat cleaver and chops her arm off.
Yeah.
But you don't see it. She goes to chop her hand off, and then the film cuts away, and it rewinds.
Yeah.
It's a weird. It's a weird filmmaking choice.
It literally rewinds through the scenes
for everything we've just seen. It didn't need it necessarily, but I see why they've done it.
I mean,
you could have just flashed straight back. You didn't need the weird rewind.
I thought the rewind took away from it personally.
Okay.
I was like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I don't need that spoon fed to me.
No, if you'd have cut back to where the rewind finishes, we'd have understood what was going on. That you're now back. Because it goes back to where they were getting food, doesn't it?
Yeah, this might sound silly, but by the filmmakers choosing to rewind it, it reminds me I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And it took me out of the experience. If it had just dropped me back to the timeline where we're going next, which is when they wake up, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought we were getting a time loop movie at this point now.
Yeah.
I'm like, are we in a time loop?
But I didn't like the rewind.
The rewind.
Device.
It happens again later on as well, doesn't it? But so we start seeing this film now a bit more from Charlotte's perspective.
Yeah.
The pills that she gave Lizzie right at the beginning were hallucinogens.
Yeah, they were her mother's dead mum's medicine.
Yeah. When they went to get the food, she stole the meat cleaver from the restaurant. well, it wasn't really a restaurant, it was a back alley.
Yeah.
And then when they get on the bus, she knocked a bug off Lizzie's jacket.
Yeah.
So she puts the bug idea into her head. So all of this now is Lizzie manifesting this onto...
When she spewed up inside the bus, Charlotte was going, "Oh my God, there's bugs in it."
But
just
there wasn't.
to provoke the hallucination.
But there wasn't. There was no bug. Because when we see that scene again, the vomit is clear. And there's also nothing in her arm. Because it fits through that quick. And again, ends with her chopping her arm off. But there was no reason for her to chop her arm off at that point. And then the film fades to black. And then it comes up 3 weeks later, Boston. So we're now back in Boston.
We had 2 subtitles. 3 weeks later, Boston, and then chapter 3,
Home.
Subtitle overload.
It was. And we meet up with Anton. We meet up
back at the
Stephen Webber again.
School for the Gifted.
He's meeting up with a new student. It's the girl who won the competition, I guess, from the beginning. She basically gets a tour by Paloma, and she's basically been shown around the school.
Yeah.
We cut to night time, still with Anton. Anton is woken up in the night by his door tannoy going off.
Oh, before that, he shows her the acoustically perfect
He does,
room.
yes. He has a room in his school that is perfect.
He says, "Look, if you work really hard, you get to perform down here."
Yeah.
And he's like, "We've crafted this place best. It's only the best of the best get to play."
There is no. He reckons it's the best place in America to play the cello.
Yeah.
The girl also has perfect pitch because he asked her to do an A sharp, and she does do an A sharp, which I thought was good. But then it comes to night time. He is awoken by his door tannoy.
He is.
That is becoming a posh one, but one nonetheless, and it's becoming a new bottom of the stream trope in this season because I think this is the 4th film that's had a door tannoy.
I think so.
I don't know if we're just noticing them more now because we got the words. Well, I got the words wrong. Nobody answers when he says who's at my door tannoy. So he goes outside to see who's there, and it's Lizzie.
Yeah.
She got an arm off.
Yeah,
she's got her hand off.
She's got no hand.
Very discombobulated. She doesn't really know where she is. She doesn't know where she's been. He says, "We've been looking for you for weeks. Where have you been?"
She says, "I've been on the side of a mountain."
Yeah,
in China. And
then he notices that she doesn't have a hand anymore, and he gets really angry.
Yeah,
he's like proper shouts at her, and she basically gets inside, reveals her story to him and Paloma, and she's just like, "I was found on the side of a mountain covered in blood. My system was full of drugs.
Yeah.
Police do not believe me what's happened, but Charlotte did this to me."
Yes. And she ran.
And then, I don't know where she ended up. Nobody's seen her since. But nobody believes her story.
She obviously did it out of jealousy.
Yes.
What she said.
Yeah. Then she said she took everything from me. I obviously can't play the cello anymore. No. Can't do that one-handed. Or can you? Ooh, foreshadow. And then she's having flashbacks to the moment where she chops her arm off. Everything's kicking off in her head. She appears to have stayed with Anton for a couple of days at the next point.
Yeah, I just put some, but not much time later.
Not much time's passed. He's basically in his classroom teaching a few kids now.
Yeah,
There's like probably 4 or 5 kids there. The other 2 teachers are there as well. And Anton says to her, she goes down and watches the practice, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And Anton says to her, "Meal with me afterwards. We need to talk."
Talk about something. And Liz is hoping for a job, I think.
Yeah, she wants to be the 4th teacher in this. Yeah, but no, she can't have a job. She's only got one hand.
These 2 are scum.
All of them are.
They're like, "Get out, you're useless."
Paloma and Anton are like, "Yeah, you're no good to us now." They do say to her, "To be fair, we've brought you an apartment in New York. You can live there. We'll pay for it for a bit, but you can't stay here. You're no use to it." He actually says, "You're no use to me. You're no use to me now." She freaks out. Obviously, her life's about to come crashing down again.
Then there's like quite a grindhouse style camera trick because it does a full like rotation.
Yeah, she's walking.
While Liz's face is on screen.
This was Lizzie's mental break.
Yeah, but I know it's just like, what a weird way to signify.
Yeah, it was really strange. So she's walking down a corridor. She sees a picture of Charlotte, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And she punches it and breaks the picture. And then the camera does a full 360 on her face. And it is really strange.
I'm
but
fine with it.
I got what it was supposed to be,
like,
so it worked. But
yeah, me too.
There's a few directorial choices in this.
I was like, you've just bunged that in, and it's not. There's nothing. It's just it stood out, and not in a good way because there was nothing in the film like it.
No, other than the rewind scenes, but even they're not quite the same, are they?
No.
But I got that it was her mental break, and it was. We then cut to Charlotte, and she's at home just cooking dinner. As if nothing's ever happened.
She's in Minneapolis.
Yeah, she's not that missing that nobody knew where she was. She hears a noise.
Not that difficult to find either.
No, apparently not, because she hears a noise while she's cooking dinner. And it's Lizzie. Lizzie's there. Lizzie's come to take her revenge. And Lizzie hits her with a taser.
Yeah, she does. And then she gives her a right kick in.
She does. I've written here, kicks the crap out of her. That's where we leave them.
Yes.
It cuts to Anton. He's driving home with Paloma in the car. When he gets there, Lizzie's standing at the gates with her car, so he can't get past her. And he gets out and says, look, I told you we can't have you here. What are you doing here? And Lizzie says, I have the bitch.
Yeah, she says, I've got something you want.
Yeah.
Now can I come home?
Yeah. I have the bitch in the trunk of my fucking car, is what she says. And then we cut to Charlotte. She wakes up in Anton's house, and she tells her story. Basically, she says, look, over the 10 years that I was away, I went crazy.
Yeah.
I was looking after Mum, sent me insane. I was in and out of mental institutions.
Said tried to kill myself.
Tried to kill myself a number of times. I had electroshock therapy. My head was shaved, which is what we saw at the beginning in the flashes. And then she says, so I needed to come back here to save her from you.
Yeah, she says, I'm not jealous of her. I'm trying to help her.
I'm trying to help her. I'm trying to save her from you, Anton.
And he just laughs.
He laughs
and
you're like, stares at her and laughs at her.
It's his heel turn, isn't it?
Yeah, big style heel turn.
And you're like, I knew you were no good, Anton.
He's excellent in this film as well. No, he is.
No, he is. He is. I nearly said I wanted more. They have used him better.
Possibly.
But then you're slowing the film down, and I don't think I want the film to be slowed down, because if it's slowed down, I'm probably going to ask more questions, and I think the whole thing's going to unravel. Yeah,
possibly. I read an article afterwards about who he is trying to portray in this film.
Right.
And I'll come to it at the end, but it's quite interesting. And whilst he's staring at her and laughing, Charlotte starts having flashbacks to him teaching her when she was young.
Yeah, it's her time at the academy.
Yeah, so they're in the special room where the pitch is perfect or whatever it is. And she's playing for him.
Yes.
And she makes a mistake.
A very minor.
Very, 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 I didn't pick it up. No. Very, very minor mistake. She stops instantly playing. She's like, Anton, please forgive me. I didn't mean to make that mistake. He is like, you do not make mistakes in this room. This room is special. You represent the academy. We can't have mistakes. He proper freaks out for this one little mistake that she's making.
The other two teachers are there watching as well.
Yeah, they come out. And he says, your tattoo on your back signifies that you are the best at what you do.
Yeah.
And that's why you get to play in this room. This room is special. You cannot be making mistakes in this room. And he says, now you've got to pay the price. And he walks off camera. And when he walks back on camera, he's naked.
I just put... Oh, he's in the nip.
He's in the nip. It was tastefully shot because there was very soft focus, so you couldn't make out any of his appendages. But
you could see it.
You could see a swinging schween, but it was in soft focus and out of focus. And then we cut back to the present, so we know now that Anton is a pretty bad dude.
Yeah.
When we cut back to the present, Charlotte's tied up and he's dragging her downstairs,
back down to this room,
this basement perfect room.
She fights him.
She briefly gets the advantage on him.
Yeah.
She gets the advantage to the point where Lizzie's down there. She managed to get a headbutt.
Gets a shot in on her as well. Yeah.
But then she gets punched in the face, and the film fades to red.
It does, yeah.
Not black this time. We wake up. She's on stage now. She's in a dress, and she's been tied to a chair.
She's chained.
She's chained to a chair.
By the ankle to the chair. And everyone else just rolls in.
Yeah. They're all there, and they're waiting for it to play. And Anton says to her, the goal is the perfection.
Yeah.
So the name of the film comes out.
Same as what it was when you were here before.
Yeah. He calls it the perfection. You cannot make even the slightest single mistake whilst you're in this room.
Yeah.
You must play for us. Lizzie still appears to be brainwashed. She's back on their side. And Anton says to her, you've cut her hand off for nothing. She's still on my side. She's still with me.
Yeah, she brought you here.
And he gives her a deal. He says, look, if you play now and you achieve perfection, then you can go home.
Yeah.
But one mistake, but it won't be you that pays the price. And then he brings in the little girl.
The competition winner
who's now staying with him. So that's basically a threat at this girl's life, I guess. And he makes her play. She plays beautifully, as far as I'm concerned.
I did not. I don't suppose it really matters, but I don't know if she made any mistakes or not.
She did.
Oh, did she?
She made one. There's a quite clear mistake towards the end.
Right.
But it's only, you can't hear it because we're not expert musical people, but his eyes just flutter.
Okay.
And hers do as well. And you're like, they both know that they've made a mistake. So as soon as it's finished, he says to Paloma, take the girl off to bed. And he says, you didn't really think I was going to hurt this girl, did you?
Yeah, he's like...
I'm just playing with him, just having some fun.
Well, I think he says, like, well, she's too young. She's not been trained yet.
Yeah.
She's got 4 years of school
to go. So he was never going to hurt her, but he says... He leaves her with the other two dudes.
Yeah.
The teacher dudes.
He's like, well, it's going to be you.
Yeah. So I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And he says to the two teacher dudes, come and get me when she stops fighting.
Stops biting.
Biting. Did he say biting?
I thought it was biting, but...
Oh, maybe.
Wow. Same.
So Lizzie's still there, and the two dudes are still there, but Anton fucks off.
This was uncomfortable.
Yep.
Oh, my word.
It really was. So...
He's gonna, like, stub fucker.
Lizzie, the two blokes are really creepy as well. They're like rubbing up her legs and stuff. And Lizzie comes up with a nub.
Yeah.
And she's going to fuck her with it. That's the clear implication of what's going on here. But she obviously...
She drops a C-bomb.
She does.
It's like, oh, you can take it.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's horrible.
Yeah. This is Lizzie's face turn, though. Because at this point, the two dudes collapse.
Yeah,
They've
choke.
Had a drink of something. They pass out, they collapse, they choke. Are they dead? Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's say yes. They never come back.
We don't see them again.
And the two girls, Lizzie and Charlotte, smile at each other, and then they kiss.
They do.
And then the film rewinds again.
Yeah.
So we're about to get the reveal of what's going
I
on
definitely
here.
didn't need it. If I didn't need it the first time, I definitely didn't need it this time.
It's good that it didn't only do it once. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it. You've got to stick it.
Yeah.
But it is an odd choice. Because we rewind all the way back to where Lizzie tased Charlotte.
Yeah, in her house.
So we could have just gone back there. You don't need that rewind.
No, it doesn't need
It's cartoony, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's cheap.
And
the because it's a sound effect as well.
Yeah, it's that was quite good. So I'm quite impressed with myself. But we stay with it after the tasing and the kicking.
Yeah, she gives her a good kick in.
Yeah, she does still. They do beat the crap out of each other a few times in this film. But we stay with them afterwards, and Lizzie's standing over... Lizzie's got a foot on Charlotte's face. And she says, I should kill you, but you were right.
Yeah.
Then we flash back even further in the film to where just after when Lizzie's had her hand chopped off.
Yeah, so they're roadside.
Chopped her hand off. So they're roadside again, and they're chatting
I guess she's just starting to come down off the drugs.
Yeah. And Charlotte says to Lizzie, I had to do that because I need to save you from him. He never loved you. He He tortured you. He raped you. He raped me. And it's all just fun for him. And he'll do it in the future. So what I've just done there by chopping your hand off is saved you from him.
She says, he will not be there for you. I will be there for you. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you.
Yeah. And she says, I'm sorry for chopping your hand off. And Lizzie says, look, we've got to stop him. I need your help.
Yeah.
So these two were plotting together. They were working together the whole time. And then it's chapter 4. Duet.
Sure.
Paloma, Anton's...
We're back in the room.
We're in Anton's like lounge bedroom area. And he's waiting for the call of when Charlotte stops biting / fighting. Paloma walks in. And Anton's
kind of
stutters a bit. Yeah, she doesn't look right, does she?
No.
And Anton says to her, have you got the girl in bed? Is everything okay? And then, does she piss herself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? It's like she was going to have a baby. She pisses herself all over his floor. And he's like, what the fuck's going on here? And then he realises she don't look right.
Yeah.
Something's not right here. And then she face plants the floor.
Well, no. Lizzie walks in.
Oh, yes.
And just gives her the...
Just one finger poke of doom.
Finger poke.
Loads of wrestling analogies in this episode.
And she falls
right
on her face.
Right on her face. And she has a knife in her back.
She has.
She is being stabbed in the back. Anton's music cuts off. He's playing nice cello music.
He begs straight away.
Yeah, straight away. And then they start playing some rap music
in
his house, which he would have absolutely despised. And both girls walk in. Charlotte's there as well. She pulls her wig off.
Yeah.
She's wearing a wig, people.
She's got short hair.
And
then stuff just happens. And I don't even think you can say it's a choreographed fight scene, because a lot of it's just out of camera, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's a lot, I've written down, there's a lot of violence in this scene, but you don't ever actually see any of it to him.
No.
So basically, he starts begging for his life. He's like, look, I'm sick. I can go and get some help. Lizzie hits him with the meat cleaver.
Yeah.
which we don't see.
We
just
don't see
her
it
swinging.
impact. We just see it sticking out of his neck when he next sort of wanders into.
Charlotte's got a knife, so she slices him with that.
We don't see him.
You never see him take a blow.
No, but we don't see him. So after he took the meat cleaver, we hear off screen because we focus on Charlotte as she hits the deck.
Yes.
And we hear him sort of beating Lizzie up, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the violence is off shot.
Exactly. It's all from Charlotte's point of view as well. Charlotte flashes back to him naked again. And when she wakes up, when she comes back from that flashback, all three of them are out on the floor.
Yeah.
So we missed a bit. And then he manages to get the knife and he stabs her.
He's above her.
He's above her. And she's like lying with her arms folded crossed above her.
So defensive arms.
Yeah, to protect herself, to protect her face.
He puts a knife through her forearm.
Straight through her forearm and you see it.
Yeah.
So every blow on her you see, but you never see any of the blows that hit him.
Or to Lizzie.
Or to Lizzie.
Because she's got a wound as well. I think she's...
Yeah, it's really strange. It's really strange, but it obviously becomes clear of why. But yeah, the knife goes right, and he's got this knife, and you can see it coming out of both sides of her arm, and he's moving it, wiggling it side to side, basically destroying her forearm. And then Lizzie takes him out. Whilst he's on top of Charlotte, she hits him with, I think it was a fireplace poker.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
She takes him out with that, and she beats him once for Lizzie, once for Charlotte, and once for all the other girls.
Yeah, Charlotte's just getting splattered with his blood.
Yeah, and there's blood everywhere. I've written here, all the violence is off screen to him, but we've seen everything that's happened to Charlotte. It's really weird. And then the end of this film happened.
Yeah. Right. I was going to say, it made me laugh out loud, and it's not entirely the movie's fault.
No.
Because in my head, a few weeks ago, I watched American Mary, and I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing the same thing. As I saw in that movie.
So we cut...
a few weeks ago.
I've got thoughts of this scene.
Yeah.
We cut to... the girls, they're in the room with the perfect room, whatever it's called, the chapel.
Nice dresses.
They're dressed up beautifully. They both got their arm nubs banded because Charlotte's got an arm off.
Yeah, she's lost opposite arm
to what Lizzie lost.
Lizzie.
We see Anton. We pull back from Anton. Anton's got no limbs.
No.
His legs and his arms have both been chopped off, and he's got like an oxygen.
He's on a drip.
He's on a drip.
His eyes are
They're keeping him alive.
Yeah.
They've chopped his 4 limbs off and they're keeping him alive.
His eyes are sewn shut. His mouth's sewn shut.
It's exactly the same as what we saw in American Mary. But it doesn't look as good. It looks funny because he's got some of the limbs, so they look a bit weird. He looks like a puppet.
Like moving around and
yeah. That's when we then reveal that Charlotte's also got an arm off. It's the opposite arm, so they grab a cello, they sit on each other's laps, and they play together as if they were one.
Yeah,
but they are two. So they've got the opposite arm. So one's strumming and one's plucking. Yeah. I don't know how it works. And then it cuts to another title card. It cuts to the title of the film, and the film ends.
Yeah.
What do you think overall? Let's talk overall first.
It's crazy.
It's mad.
I mean, I like the fact that I had no idea what was coming next.
No.
So from a pure surprise point of view, it kept me going all the way through.
Yes.
And it just kept getting more bonkers. And then I was like, I think the more you think about this movie, the less you're going to like it.
Possibly, yeah. There's 4 chapters in this film, and all 4 of them are completely different.
Yeah.
It's like watching 4 films that have all been pieced together. But I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it.
It absolutely flies by.
Yeah, it's a piece of me. It's silly, stupid horror film. I don't even know if it's a horror film. It's silly. It's really silly. But
I was surprised at how gory it was.
Yes, it was really gory. Which I was kind of expecting because it's 19. It is really
It's
gory.
what I thought I was getting from American Mary. Sorry to keep talking about that movie.
You can't not talk about that film.
In a lot of ways, it's so similar.
It is. It really is.
But it kind of goes that next step.
Yeah.
But there is also quite an element of we're throwing so much at the wall just to see what sticks.
Yeah.
And that's in terms of plot and in terms of the devices used in this movie, like the rewind.
The fade to blacks, the fade to reds.
There's loads
camera.
of weird.
Yeah, there's loads of weird directorial choices.
There's no consistent theme through it, is there, or style through it?
No.
It's
like you said earlier, as well, with the
patchy.
different chapter titles, and then the 3 weeks later comes up at the same time as a chapter title. It feels cluttered.
Yeah,
that's a good word for it. Cluttered.
It does. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, and then the ending happened.
I had loads of fun.
I really, really, really didn't like that end.
Oh, it's just unnecessary.
It's completely. You could have ended that film without doing that. Just when you realise that Charlotte's got an arm off as well, Just cut to black and play cello music. Let me do that in my mind.
Yeah.
Because
didn't need that shot.
I don't need to see Stephen Webber with 4 limbs off. It looked funny, and this film finished with me laughing at it.
I laughed at it, but for me, it was more like, I can't believe I've seen this again.
Yeah.
A guy in this situation.
That ended unnecessary.
Do you know what I also find interesting?
It cheapens the film.
We've seen 2 movies with the same punishment happen to an abuser.
Yeah.
How does that happen? What?
I don't know.
Do you think this guy, has he seen American Mary?
What year was American Mary?
It was old. It was like 2012.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, maybe he has. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. That the way that it's only been a couple of weeks since we did American Mary, and we've seen the same thing happen twice to the same person. Theory.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment about like there's something in there that makes you think. This is obviously written, directed by a guy, and like, is it a bit lazy and not really? It doesn't quite feel right that you've got this character of Charlotte who's been abused for years and years, and that makes you into a sort of badass when people just go through absolute terrible mental, never be the same again, and then I think, well, we kind of saw that in American Mary as well, but then that was directed by
lady
women,
yeah.
So I don't know. It's just
those 2 women who made American Mary are weird, though.
I just couldn't believe some of the similarities.
It's crazy how similar they are. It really is crazy.
It's just I was gobsmacked, really. But look,
it's fun. It's really, if you like this sort of film,
movie.
It's a good thriller.
I thought it was its best. It was at its best. The first half was the best.
Yeah.
Of this movie, the revenge part, it was a lot more uneven, I thought.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The twists of Lizzie and Charlotte always being on the same side when they beat the crap.
That twist of them being together. That didn't
land because you always knew they were going to be.
Yeah.
But they beat the crap out of each other. There's unnecessary fighting between the 2 of them. Like that point where she's dragged downstairs and just headbutts her for no reason. Yeah. They don't need to do that. If they were on the same side, I'd be fucked off if they were doing that. And like when she's kicking the crap out of her in the house, that's just before they team up.
Yeah.
But if she's come there to team up with you, what? It just seems a bit.
I just think it doesn't hold up if you start to pick it apart.
There's things that happen in this film just for the sake of them happening, and
to
it's a
fool
shame.
the viewer, not because that would.
But if you don't look into this film as deeply as what we do, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's a good little thriller.
Because really, you can bring it back to like
it's a revenge flick.
So when Charlotte set up that whole hallucinatory trip,
yeah.
So was she just thinking on the fly all the way through that? Because she swiped the bug off. She picked up the meat cleaver.
It made out like she'd planned the whole thing.
But she can't, because she didn't know. Did she know she was going to pick up the meat cleaver? Was it always going to be bugs? Was it just on the fly? Or was it all planned?
She fed her hallucinogens and then placed bugs into her head.
She doesn't know this person, so why did she think, the only way I'm going to get her out of this place is if I chop her
arm off? Yeah.
It was a bit of a risk to take, isn't it?
Why not just chop her arm off? You're in bed with her. Just chop her arm off.
That's what I mean, though. It starts to fall apart if you
go too deeply into it. And I think a lot of these Netflix originals do, but especially from that era.
But for a sort of schlocky, violent, revengey type movie,
it's fun.
Leave your brain at the door. I think you'll have a.
It's a good Saturday night pizza and a Magnum film.
I think you'll have a fun time.
I agree.
I'm not sure it holds up.
I don't like that ending.
It's unnecessary.
I didn't need to see Stephen Webber with his arms and legs off. That's weird. Even end on them playing together.
No, that bit was
don't
fine.
show us that, because
couldn't we have had a nice ending where they're like
playing for an audience?
They're
like
running the place, or they're teaching, or
they on stage at Carnegie Hall or something playing like that. Because that's a gimmick. You're going to sell tickets to see somebody doing that, but you don't. They didn't need to have kept him alive. And all he ever wanted was to see them play together. So why are they giving him what he wants?
Yeah, that's also true.
It's weird. That ending's weird.
I would also say, if they really want to torture him, wouldn't they have deafened him, but kept his eyes?
Yeah.
So he could see them but not hear them.
Yeah, something like that works as well. It's just weird to chop his limbs off and make him watch you play. It's bizarre. So I mentioned earlier, I read an article about this film.
Oh, yeah.
Did you take note of the movie studio that produced this film?
No.
Miramax.
Okay.
The theory is, it's a fan theory.
Okay.
The film's made by Miramax. Miramax obviously was famously
I think I know where
founded
you're going here.
famously founded by Harvey Weinstein. The Miramax of today has no connection whatsoever with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And the theory is that this film is them trying to distance themselves from him, and he is the Anton character. Which holds up, it works. Because that's exactly what Anton was doing is exactly what Harvey Weinstein was doing. And this article's quite in depth. It was going on for ages about all the different things that mirror Harvey Weinstein's life. And the school of thought is that Miramax are trying to distance themselves with this film from his legacy.
It fits. It's so nice.
It fits, whether it coincidentally fits.
Yeah, because I'm sure they'd have just bought this movie and no one's written this on spec.
No, I don't think they're saying it's been written for that reason. It's been released by Miramax for that reason.
Okay.
But I thought it was quite an interesting little tidbit of information.
Yeah.
We're going long again, Nick. We're nearly an hour already. We've not even done the bits yet.
There's a lot to talk about with this one.
What's the best thing about it?
It's the first chapter for me. It's the first. It's that scene on the bus.
It is.
Yeah.
That scene goes on for about 10 minutes, and it's manic.
It's the whole the journey on the
bit
bus.
where she's about to shit herself. It's so tense, and
It's
you can relate
really
to it so
uncomfortable.
much. Yeah,
It's before any of the body horror
before
stuff.
the arm chopping.
Yeah.
All of the film before the arm chopping off bit is great, and it's great afterwards. But there's a definite twist. There's a definite turn of style in the film at that point.
The bit on the bus is the most tense. It's the most claustrophobic. It's the best acting that the two of them get to do.
Yeah,
and it's the most confusing bit for the viewer of like, well, what is this film turning into?
Yes, agree.
Am I getting a virus movie?
Yeah. Are we getting a virus movie? Are we getting a time loop movie? Are we getting a revenge flick? You never know what it is until it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
This is what I mean about going back to the guy at the start when he was blowing chunks everywhere. That kind of made me think that Charlotte was kind of coming up with this on the fly.
Yeah.
She didn't know about that, and then that was incorporated into
possibly
the story. And
yeah, because what was that all about? Where did that come from?
it's just a red herring for the viewer, wasn't it?
Is that that's what gave her the idea?
Bit cheap, don't know.
Is that what gave her the idea? I don't know, but I honestly don't know. What would you change about it? I think we've already covered that.
Yeah, take that
ending
ending
off. Change it slightly.
Yeah.
Put me in front of an audience doing that.
Yeah.
Be both successful cellists. Give it happier endings. Weird. The ending's too weird.
I don't think the characters. I don't know if because they were going for the shock factor, weren't they?
Yeah.
They hadn't given us enough that was in the character's makeup to do that.
Yeah.
To the guy, although obviously he was an absolute scumbag.
Yeah.
But they didn't fit with what we'd seen from them before. I don't think the movie earned it.
I agree. And it just looks silly.
Yeah.
It just did. Do you want to talk stream table?
Sure.
Do you want me to read the whole thing?
Yes, please.
So, currently at the bottom of the stream, holding steady is Secret Obsession, followed by American Mary, then The Holiday Calendar, which was last week's movie, Destruction Las Vegas, Classic Horror Story, Containment, Arlo the Alligator Boy, Good Time, and What Happened to Monday is still at number 1. What are you thinking? What's your initial thoughts here? I know where I want it. I'm just intrigued to see where you're going to put it.
It's near Classic Horror Story.
Okay, that's fair. I have it at either side of Containment, so I'm one above where you are currently. I'm just not quite sure which side.
I'd have it below Containment.
You think Containment's better than this?
As a package, yes.
Okay. It's close between the two of them for me. It's better than Classic Horror Story.
I think it is.
I think it is.
Because that became a real slog by the end.
And this is never that. This is never a slog. It's fun. It's entertaining all the way through. It's a great little film.
I think that's where it goes.
It's just its little ending just ruined it slightly. It took the edge off it. But Containment, again, is a great little British film, isn't it? I think it deserves to maybe be above it, but I would take below if needs be, if you don't want to go there.
That sounds like I really love Containment. And
it does.
I wasn't that fussed by that either. Personally, I'd give that the edge.
Okay.
But there's not much in it for me.
No, there's not. It's really close between the two of them.
Yeah.
So that puts it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Okay.
Happy with 5th?
Yeah.
Cool.
About halfway up, feels about right.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun. It's a fun little film. Do you want to pick next week's film?
Yes, please.
What are you looking for?
I mean, I feel like I want something light. A bit lighter than all this chopping and slashing.
Yeah, we've had a lot of choppy slashes, haven't we?
Blood, guts and maggots.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what we get then, shall we? I'm going to press the button.
Let's do it.
It has picked a film called Time Freak.
Okay.
This is one of those films that appears to have two different names.
Oh, that's always helpful.
On IMDb, the poster says Time Freak. The title says Time After Time. Which is better? I guess we'll decide that when we've seen the film.
Yeah, so just beware of that if you're watching along with us.
Yeah.
Depending on which country you're located in.
Let's see what it says on Netflix. It's called Time Freak on Netflix in the UK at least. Whether it's got a different name in America, I don't know. Do you want to know a synopsis?
Yes, please.
So it says, a genius teenage boy is in love with a girl. They break up after a year. He invents a time machine and tries to fix the breakup repeatedly. He finally goes a year back with his friend / advisor to fix the bad days. It's a weird, weirdly written synopsis.
Not well written at all.
It's not, is it? There's another one. Do you want me to read the other one?
Okay, fine. Go for it.
It says, physics prodigy Stillman is destined for great things, only to be derailed when his girlfriend Debbie suddenly dumps him. But Stillman isn't beaten. He does what any heartbreaking genius would do. He invents a time machine to get a second chance at love. That's better.
A bit better, yeah.
Do you want to know who's in it?
I would love to.
Asa Butterfield.
Oh, he's
him of Sex Education fame.
Good big thing.
A good big thing. That's a good big thing. That's going to go on the poster. Asa Butterfield, good big thing. Sophie Turner's in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's also a
good big thing.
Kind of a big deal.
She's kind of a big deal. And Skylar Gisondo.
Oh, amazing.
Who was in Santa Clarita Diet. So, yeah, good little cast. It's from 2018. Robin has got us stuck in a time year. For some reason, I think that's the fourth film from 2018 we've done.
Is it?
Yeah, that was strange. So yeah, go out and watch Time Freak or Time After Time, depending on what you want to call it. I've got a really itchy nose. It's annoying me. And we will... What do I say? Go out and watch Time Freak. And then, in the meantime, go and check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at @BOTS_podcast. Check us out. If you want to drop us an email, you can do that. It's at bottomofthestream@gmail.com. If you want to go on the website is bottomofthestream.com. On the website, you'll find every episode we've ever recorded. 6 stream tables now. We've been doing this for a very long time. There's all sorts of other cool stuff on there as well. Oscar winners. There's even some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
face mask.
You can get a Bottom of the Stream face mask. I've got one. Do all of that. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/bottomofthestream. On there for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to the movie show episodes. You will get bonus episodes. We're definitely going to do more bonus episodes in 2022. Nick writes a newsletter every month, which is great. Always great. Consistently great. And if you come in at the top level, you'll get a wild card, which means you can give Robin the night off and you can pick the film that we watch the following week. After you've done all that, come and join us in Discord. We'll have a lot of fun in there. We're going to do some Christmassy stuff. We're going to do some New Year-y stuff. We're going to do more movie watch-alongs, quizzes, all sorts of shit's going on in there. It's going to be great fun. The link for the Discord is in the bottom of the show notes for this very episode.
Whew. After all that, if you can possibly spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review. Anywhere you can review podcasts. Could be somewhere like Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Podbean, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you can do it, just go and do it. Especially if you can leave a review via cello.
Oh, right, okay. How does that work?
You just interpretive celloing.
Celloing. So yeah, go out and do it. Maybe if you've got a friend, just use each of us arms.
Right.
You do it one hand and he can do it in the other hand. It'd be great. It'd be lots of fun.
Maybe we could try that.
And that's it. That's this year done.
Where'd you rent a cello from?
Cello shop.
Okay.
We've done 2021.
Well done.
Have you had a good podcasting year?
Yeah, I've loved it.
What's been your highlights?
What, movie-wise?
Anything-wise. Podcast-wise.
Do you know what? I like talking about the terrible movies.
Same. The episodes for the terrible movies are always better.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I love talking about good movies, don't get me wrong.
Same.
But
we have a lot more fun when we laugh at the bad movies, don't we?
I mean, take last week's episode, for example. The holiday calendar.
Yeah.
I really didn't enjoy watching that movie.
No, not me.
I really enjoyed talking about it.
Yeah.
It was much more entertaining.
So what you're saying is that your highlight of this year is talking to me.
Podcast-wise, that was the question.
The highlight of the year, podcast-wise, is the podcast. Okay, that's fair.
How about you? Anything that sticks in your brain?
I think moving from 2 episodes to 1 episode to 2 episodes was a big deal.
Yeah.
I think that's helped us out quite a lot. I think we've nailed the Waves format now quite well. I really enjoy doing the Wave as well. We have a lot of fun with that. Mainly because you do most of the talking on that one.
It's good to get all that news, and you can just have a bit more fun. I think just giving ourselves the option of a bit more time, and we're not cramming it into one episode.
Yeah, I agree. Even though we've now helped. The movie show episodes are sneaking up in time again, which we need to cut back on a little bit.
Yeah, but that's always going to vary slightly depending on the movie.
I think the Discord's a highlight of the year. The conversations we're having there are great.
That's definitely going to be the New Year's resolution: is make more use of things like that. We had a great watch along, so we want to do some more of them. I am going to put together some kind of movie based quiz. We'll have a night doing that.
Yeah,
and then maybe we can even get together next year.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Meet some people.
First bottom of the stream meetup.
That'd be great.
Let's see.
Let's do that. Hopefully, when this world changes back to some sort of normal, that'd be nice.
There's loads of stuff we want to do.
We've got loads of plans.
Let's see what happens.
I guess I don't know what happened to my voice. I guess we just need to thank everybody who's listened to us this year, everybody who's Patreoned us, everybody who's in the Discord, everybody who's left us any sort of review or even listened to 1 second of the show. Yeah, it really, really helps, and we really do appreciate it.
It is appreciated. We never thought that we'd be going for this long, and
no way. We've never stuck to anything in our lives.
Have listeners from literally all over the world.
Yeah.
It's quite mind-boggling. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. We love you all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We've already had Christmas. Happy New Year. Here's to a great 2022. Whilst you're off work, off school, whatever, go out and watch Time Freak. And we'll come back next week for The Wave on Monday and for an episode on Time Freak on Thursday.
Cheers.
Bye.